Hello and welcome to the Rusty Misfits Racing League. All the dirt rookie mini stocks. We are kicking off race number 1 here tonight. Out of 2, as we always do, here at I-55 Speedway. Kenny Schrader's very own dirt track. 4.5 minutes remaining in our practice session. Hunter Wellman at the top of the leaderboard. If you've been paying any attention to this season so far, that young man there in that 64 car has some serious speed. He's went 6 straight races in a row, straight to victory lane, and continuing his winning ways tonight here, after being taken away from the victory lane there for the last couple of races. Fastest car on the track so far in practice. Slightly ahead of Mic Olafson. Daniel Northcutt, kind of a surprise, up there in 3rd. At least on the leaderboard as far as lap times are concerned here in our practice session. Right now, only car on the track at the moment is the 17 car of Dean Qualley. A little bit of a different paint scheme on that car as we see a couple of cars coming out. Walbring and Wellman coming on out here. Do a few more practice laps as we come to a close in this race or practice session here. 3 minutes remaining. But ladies and gentlemen, why don't we go through the national anthem? So please, if you will join me.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming,
whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming,
and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see we rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Alrighty, that brings us to the end of our practice session. We will get ready and jump straight into our heat racing action here very, very, very shortly, as we are now waiting for our cars to start gridding up. Why don't we take a quick look at our starting lineup? On pole position, Justin Walbring in that 27 machine with Austin Strang in that 33 outside of him. Row 2 inside sees Mic Olafson with Hunter Wellman, our points leader. Actually, those are the top two in points. Hunter in first, Mick in second. Hunter starting in fourth. Ray Andrews in that 13 car will be bringing up the back of this 5-car heat race. As we get ready to go racing here tonight at this 3rd mile dirt oval. I-55 Speedway. Should be some tight door-to-door action we've been seeing all season long. Maybe not necessarily at the front, but somewhere in the pack. You don't usually see these cars get too far away from each other. Do keep an eye on that front row, as it does not seem that Austin Strang gridded up. That will put Hunter Wellman to the outside pole position. The only car on your outside row right now as we get ready to take the green flag. Pace truck is off, green is in the air. Hunter with a solid start on that outside row. Looking to sneak ahead of Walbring and does so coming off of turn 2. Pulling out to about a car length and a half, 2 car lengths ahead of second place right now. Walbring getting some pressure from that 75 car, Mic Olafson. But Olafson not having a good exit there. Has Ray Andrews outside of him. Andrews going to sneak past for third on the outside line. Olafson fighting back, trying to hold on to that position. As you see, Ray's catching that outside wall just a little bit. Going to slow his momentum, but not enough to keep him from taking that position away. Hunter Wellman out to an early lead here ahead of our pole sitter, Justin Walbring, in this heat race. Pretty even gap between the first 3 cars. We also have Austin Strang out on track now after not making it to the grid. Still scored on the lead lap, but about a half a lap behind. Three laps remaining, and this is our only battle on track right now. Mic Olafson trying to sneak back past for third position. Does not want to start on that second last row on the inside row here. Mick definitely a threat to win these races. In fact, he is one of only 3 race winners so far this season on the Dirt Series side of things. Last lap in the air. Hunter Wellman just has to keep it clean one more time around this 3rd mile oval. And he will start pole position for our feature race. As you see him coming through 3 and 4 for the final time. He will hold on to take the win. Justin Walbring will finish second. Ray Andrews holding on for third. Seems Mic Olafson had an issue allowing Austin Strang to sneak past him, taking fourth away. Mick having to settle for a 5th place finish in that heat race. Unfortunate for Mick. After having a good starting position. But now let's take a look at the starting lineup for heat race number 2. Aaron Murphy in that 41 car will start pole position with Kyle Thayer outside of him in second. Kyle Thayer being one of our other race winner this season. Dean Qualley, our only Canadian in the field in that 17 car, starts inside of row 2 with Hunter Wellman in that 99 machine starting 4th. Bringing up the back of this pack in that 77 car is Dan Northcutt. Don't count Dan out though, he did show some speed in our practice session just a few moments ago as the pace truck takes them around the field for the first of their 2 pace laps here. In fact, we will get 1 to green this time by And then we will go for 8 laps of heat racing that will determine the starting lineup for the outside row. Kyle Thayer, Aaron Murphy at the front of this pack. Dean Qualley did mention earlier that he did intend it starting at the back of the field for tonight's race, trying to save some of his equipment. As the pace truck goes off, green flag is in the air. Outside caught sleeping, Aaron Murphy out to an early lead. Kyle Thayer was not ready for that flag to come out, having to fend off that 17 car of Dean Qualley. Got a 3-car train on the bottom of the track, but Thayer with an amazing run off turn 4, going for the lead through 1 and 2 here. Put Thayer at the front, even if just barely. Aaron Murphy fighting back on that outside row, but going to catch that outside wall on the exit there. That's going to allow Thayer to get back around him and put Murphy in the clutches of Qualley and Alelovich. That 99 and 17 still fighting side by side for third position. Give it to Hunter, just slightly coming around turn 2 here. But exciting heat race here to finish out our 2 heat races, setting up our starting grid for the feature race. 40 laps here around this track. We now are going into a 3-minute warm-up session here. Final few moments for these drivers to get a last feel for what the track is doing as far as changes, what their car is going to do, where they want to run out here. And we see Aaron Murphy, Hunter Wellman, Dean Qualley, Kyle Thayer, Hunter Alelovich on track at the moment. The rest of the field opting not to go out just yet, as we see the 99 doing a 360 and continuing on. Right now, top of our leaderboard, Kyle Thayer just jumped up to the fastest lap run, a 14.37, ahead of Aaron Murphy and Hunter Wellman. In fact, well ahead, over a 1/10 of a second faster than the rest of the top 3 is that 89 car. I'd say right now the big surprise is in that 64 machine, only running the 3rd fastest lap at the moment with a 14.55. Normally we do not see that 64 car that slow in comparison to everyone else. He's usually way out ahead of everyone. One minute remaining in this final warm-up session here. Kyle Thayer still the fastest on the board. In fact, top 3 has not changed, but right there, Mic Olafson, that 75 car, has pulled up to the 4th fastest lap time, a 14.60. Not quite enough to knock out anyone higher than the top 3, but moved him up a couple of positions up that leaderboard. As we come to the last 30 seconds. A little bit of contact there, a little bit of fun-loving racing, I think, between that 75 and Wellman. Turning that 64 machine around. Just a little bit of lighthearted fun before we go into the serious part of the event. 40 laps, 10 cars, winner takes all. The points, that is. As we come to a close here.
Remember what I told all my drivers? Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time. Drivers, start your engines!
Alrighty. We got our field on the grid to start this feature race. Let's take a look at our starting lineup. Starting pole position after winning heat race number 1, we will see that 64 car, Hunter Wellman, with Kyle Thayer in that 89 machine on his outside. Row 2, we have the 27 of Justin Walbring with Hunter Wellman in that 99 car in 4th. Row 3, starting inside, 13 car of Ray Andrews with Aaron Murphy outside of him in 6th position. Row 4 sees Austin Strang starting inside row with Daniel Northcutt in that 77 starting outside. Bringing up the back of this pack here, row 5, Mic Olafson on the inside with that 75 car. Dean Qualley in that Ford EcoBoost sponsored Ford Mustang GT, bringing up the back of this pack. As we have the pace truck off. Green flag in the air. Kyle Thayer not quite ready for those restarts. Hunter Wellman was though and jumps out to the lead. That is a dangerous move to allow that 64 as we got 4 wide action behind him. And cars going around. That would be the 99 of Hunter Wellman. And I believe the 27 of Walbring caught a part of that, as well as Aaron Murphy. Let's take a look back here to see what happened. Did not complete the lap, I do not believe. Mic Olafson dove to the inside, caught the 27. Turned the 27 around. See if we can see what happened with Austin. Because it was 4 wide for a brief second there. I think the 41 might have caught a little bit of that 99 car. And that's exactly what happened. Kind of synchronized spins, 2 separate incidents, and then just a wad up of cars behind that. Caution flag number 1, not even a lap into tonight's event. Kind of setting the tone early. We only have 4 races to go in this season, including tonight. So you see the pressure these drivers are feeling to try to get up through that field as quick as possible. Should be pretty much a full re-rack as we go back. Green flag racing. Once again, Hunter with a good start on that front row. Kyle Thayer not anticipating the green flag all that well. A little further back in the pack, we got Ray Andrews, Walbring, and Austin Strang, I believe that is, 3 wide. All running for 4th position. Walbring holding on to that 4th place just for him. Just barely for the moment anyways. Ray Andrews making good friends with that outside wall. All through practice, heat racing, and now in the feature. As we see Mic Olafson looking to make it 3 wide for a second here. Late contact between the 33 and 13. Almost turned that 33 around, but they keep it going straight. Tight door-to-door action here at the back of the pack. You see Dean Qualley in there. Austin Strang catching a little bit of the wall. Olafson on the inside. Daniel Northcutt right in the middle of this group. Looking to try to get past the 2 cars ahead of him, but side-by-side action there with Olafson and Strang. Olafson on the bottom of the track there, Strang on that outside groove. Give the advantage to that 75 car. Now he's going to go and try to put pressure on that 13 of Ray Andrews just ahead of him. Meanwhile, at the back of the pack here, Dean Qualley just trying to take things easy. Did catch a little bit of that initial incident as the track clogged up right in front of him. Racing side by side with Aaron Murphy right now in that yellow machine just below him. Meanwhile, up at the front here, Hunter Wellman once again putting on a statement here. 9/10 of a second ahead of second place. Now make that over. I think Kyle caught a big chunk of that wall there. We heard somebody on the wall and you saw the time drop. He is now 1.2 seconds behind our leader. In fact, Hunter Wellman in that 99 car is kind of threatening to catch back up, or catch up to that 89. Aaron Murphy, Dean Qualley up a couple of positions here. Ray Andrews having some problems. And now at the back of this pack, not that far behind. Maybe he just caught that wall a little bit too hard and lost a few positions. We have seen that 13 car having issues with that outside wall on the corner exit. Qualley up a couple of positions now. Fighting hard with that 41 machine of Aaron Murphy, doing a crossover. Nice move right there to try to get back down to that inside line. Now needs to try to slide up ahead of that 41 and slow his momentum down, and does, coming off of turn number 2. Four-car battle right here. Ray Andrews once again back at the back of this group. In fact, he is on the inside of Daniel Northcutt, trying to take 9th place away. Here in the mid-pack, Justin Walbring, Mic Olafson, Austin Strang, all kind of together in a group. Olafson trying to hold off that 33 machine. Austin looking to the outside, trying to take advantage of that additional momentum that higher line can offer. Side by side, down the back straight through 3 and 4. Austin Strang with the advantage that time across the line. That will put him up for 5th place for the millisecond. Anyway, Olafson not going to go quietly, fighting hard on that bottom line. Strang just managing to maintain just that little bit more momentum, and in fact, he is able to clear that 75 car. That time off the turn. Meanwhile, at the front, Hunter still managing to open that gap. Now a 1.5 second lead ahead of Kyle Thayer. Lap times between these top 2 drivers have kind of stabilized. Last time by 14.7 for Hunter, 14.71 for Kyle Thayer. Very similar lap times between our top 2. In fact, Hunter Wellman in 3rd. Not that far behind them with a 14.77 either, so these guys are running pretty comparable lap times. But that is not what you want to see if you're 2nd place. You want to see that leader slowing down just a little bit. But Kyle running a couple of hundredths of a second slower lap time wise. Walbring sitting in 4th place, down 1 from his starting position, but he has company on his back bumper. That 33 of Austin Strang is now there. Walbring, however, is running that line that Austin used to great effect against Olafson. He's making that 33. You have to search a little bit, trying to find some additional grip down a little bit lower. And Strang not quite seeming to be able to get anything to happen down there. Still battling hard here for fourth position between that 27 and 33 machine. Strang is there, just cannot make a move on that lower line. Walbring doing everything he needs to do and just holding strong in that preferred line that Austin wants. Meanwhile, here at the back of the pack, Ray Andrews running 10th. Not the night he was hoping for, but still running fairly strong. He's still there with Northcutt, just cannot quite catch back up to him as we see the 41 catch the wall pretty hard that time. Off of turn 4 as we have a caution out. Here's the 27 of Justin Walbring. As we take a look at the instant replay. Light contact with the 33 and they just cannot get apart from each other. Nice job by Walbring to get that car woed up and not make any serious contact with the inside or outside.
I guess give it to me.
wall.
I had nowhere to go, but give it to me. Why the hell not?
I appear to have forgotten to turn off. Give me one moment, I'll get that shut off. I apologize for that. I did not realize I forgot to turn the in-game voice chat off. Austin Strang apologizing for that incident as he here taking responsibility for causing that 27 car to go around. That will put him to the back of the pack as well, at least. So, as we are getting ready to go back, green flag racing. Hunter Wellman with another good start. Able to clear that 89, but now Thayer has company on his back bumper. Mic Olafson right behind him. Hunter Wellman trying to sneak past for second, but Hunter's sliding up a little bit. That gives the advantage to that 75 car on that higher line. In fact, Hunter's going to have to concede that position to Mick and settle back in fourth position at the moment, putting Mic Olafson up 6 positions from his starting spot, up into third place. 8 laps remain in this race. Hunter Wellman, though, back to form at the front of this pack from the drop of the green and has not looked back since. Kyle Thayer running very consistently in that second place as well. Mic Olafson, though, he has suddenly found some speed. Mic Olafson, our biggest mover at the moment, but let's take a look back here. Dean Twally, he's not trying to stay quiet either. He's up 4 positions from his starting spot. Working on Hunter Wellman and Aaron Murphy just ahead of him. And after having to restart towards the back of the pack here, Justin Walbring on the march back through the field, just passing Daniel Northcutt 4/7. Unfortunately for Justin, though, he was having a good run, sitting there comfortably in the top 5. But fighting hard for position, just got turned a little sideways. But right now, at the front of the pack, this is the closest we've seen as a fight for the lead. 0.4 of a second between the two of these cars. Hunter Wellman, Kyle Thayer, with 2 laps to go. Now make that 1.5. Getting the white flag as we come across the line this time by. Hunter Wellman has to make 1 more perfect lap, and he will put a exclamation mark on this victory as we go through 3 and 4 one last time. Hunter Wellman will hold on for the win. Kyle Thayer after finding some speed last week and winning. Will settle for second. Hunter Wellman bringing it home third, sneaking it past Mic Olafson for fourth. Aaron Murphy will round out our top five. Walbring managing to bring up another position off Dean Qualley. Must have had some issues there in that 17 car. Justin in sixth. Daniel Northcutt in seventh. Dean Qualley having a little bit of a slip right at the very end there, sending him back into 8th place. Ray Andrews 9th, and Austin Strang at the very back of this pack, finishing 10th. Now, like I said at the top of the show, ladies and gentlemen, that was going to be an interesting race, and it sure was. We had battles all throughout the entire event, from the top to the bottom of the leaderboard. Well, I shouldn't say at the top. Hunter Wellman dominating in his usual fashion, leading all 40 laps, not giving anyone else a chance to even sniff at the lead. Kyle Thayer kept him honest after that final restart and just barely held on, but did not have enough speed to catch up to that 64 car. Towards the end, though, those two were running very, very similar laps. In fact, Kyle, the last time across the line, was a couple of hundreds faster, but a couple of hundreds is just not enough to make a big enough difference going into the race, or to make a move on that race leader. As we wait for our top three to come into the waiting, or into the booth for their post-race interview. We have a couple of them in there, so why don't we bring our second place? I don't know if our third place has a mic for sure or not. So let's bring our second place finisher into the booth with me here, Kyle Thayer. Kyle the Kid Thayer, you know, Justin Walbring kind of gave you that moniker last week after you went to victory lane. You were sniffing it after that restart a little bit, Kyle. What more did you need to try to take Hunter out?
Maybe a couple more laps, but I was close.
Well, that last restart, you definitely found a couple of extra hundredths of a second more than Hunter had. You were closing in a little bit, and like you said, maybe a couple of more laps, you might have made a move. Was the track changing in your favor there, or did you think Hunter was just kind of holding back just that little bit?
Nah, he's fast. I couldn't catch up with him. The track was getting slick for sure.
Well, the track definitely changing through the night makes dirt racing that much harder to run, because you gotta not only chase your car and your competition, you gotta chase the changes in the track and find where the grip was, or the grip is. And you know, to be good on dirt is a very special talent. Kyle, you've definitely found something the last couple of weeks. Do you have any idea what that little extra is that you found the last couple of weeks would be?
No idea. Just giving it my all every week, and the results are showing.
Absolutely, and you know what? With the points lead that sorry here, Hunter has coming into tonight, I believe it was a 51-point gap between first and second. Right, it's going to take taking him off that top podium position to try to close that gap, but having runs like you've been having the last couple of weeks are definitely going to help your favor getting up there in those standings and trying to close that gap a little bit.
Yeah, if I could finish top three in points, I'll be happy with that. Hunter's put on a really good season, so
Absolutely. Well, Kyle, is there anyone you'd like to thank for helping getting that car as fast as it is?
Misfits of Motorsports and Justin and Ray and everybody at Rusty Misfits Racing League is. It's been fun racing, and
Well,
thanks for broadcasting.
it's absolutely a pleasure watching these races and getting to call them out live as they happen. You know, like to watch some of these drivers, you know, go through the changes like you have, where you kind of were a back marker for the first half of the season, and then all of a sudden a little bit of practice, a little bit of finding a little something there, and all of a sudden you're up there and threatening to win races and actually winning them.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
So to watch or get to watch that progression is definitely something to enjoy. So congratulations, Kyle. That was definitely a great race you guys put on out there tonight. I look forward to seeing what you can do a little bit later on here at the bull ring.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
Alrighty. Well, that was Kyle Thayer in that 89 machine, bringing the car home in second position. Needed a couple more laps to try to hunt this young fella down here, but not quite had the time. Hunter held off a late race charge from that 89. How are you feeling right now?
I am feeling very tired. I have never felt that much adrenaline in a race.
Well, the mid portion of that race there, you were just in a league of your own. You just kept opening that gap, but that last caution after that restart there, Kyle did not let you sneak away like he did before. Did that worry you a little bit that maybe he was holding something in reserve?
Oh, absolutely. Kyle is a really good racer, and you're right, those last 10 laps, he was ever so slightly faster. And the main, what was worrying the most is he was able to make that top line work, which I really didn't think was going to come in. And I have 0 laps running the top, so I was either going to run the bottom and get past, or who knows what.
Well, we definitely saw the top line come in throughout the field. There was a lot of cars making that outside line at least hold on to the position, if not gain a couple positions. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting race. And, after a couple of weeks missing out on that top spot on the podium, Hunter, you're finally back up there. You got to be feeling pretty decent after that, right?
Oh yeah, feels good to get interviewed for one. Eldora didn't go so well, but feels good to increase my points lead, be back on the top step of the podium.
Absolutely. I think we may as well just start engraving that championship trophy because I believe, if I remember correctly, you came into tonight with a 51-point lead over second. After leading every lap tonight, you're definitely going to add to that deficit 2 seconds. So it's going to have to take a miracle almost at this point to dethrone you off that top spot there in the championship point standings.
Well, I've learned a few times that I shouldn't be counting my chickens before I hatch. So I'm just gonna run as hard as I can, and hopefully I'll come out on top.
Well, that definitely kind of answers my next question. I was just about to ask you there, going into these last few weeks, what is the game plan? What do you have to do just to hold on, to make sure that you hold on to that point lead?
Yeah, I want to run about the same pace as I have been all season. I don't really want to fall back anymore. Just trying to maintain podiums and wins and keeping my points lead up is my main concern now.
Absolutely. And we've seen all season long that you're definitely a fast driver. It doesn't seem to really matter what track we run at. And looking at the schedule, we got Lucas Oil, Fairbury, Limaland, which I've seen you race at, and you are pretty solid at all 3 of those tracks. So I think you're going to be a definite threat to.
Well, thank you very much. I sure hope so.
Well, Hunter, there's got to be a few people you want to thank for helping make that mini stock go as crazy fast as it is, and maybe a tech official or two you got to go and bribe.
Yeah, I want to thank you for broadcasting as always. I want to thank Justin Walbring. He invited me to the league. I want to thank all the other drivers for having an awesome race tonight. I want to thank RJB Automotive, Kellner Range and Supply, KRS Clothing, Hairstyles with John, and Misfit Creations for sponsoring me. And thank you to everybody watching at home and on the broadcast.
Absolutely, Hunter, and thank you for coming out and putting on a show. That is win number 7 on the season for that 64 car of yours. And yeah, maybe we have a chance to add 3 more.
Well, we'll have to see.
Absolutely, and everyone at home, you're going to have to tune in these final 3 weeks here to see if that 64 can go the distance and hold off the rest of this pack.
I don't mean to interrupt, but my name on Discord was just changed to Grip Hacker.
I see that. Like I said, that you might have a tech official or two to go and throw a couple of bucks towards, so they don't inspect your car in certain areas. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Oh, I don't really need to bribe him. This car is perfectly legal. If anything, it's a couple 100 pounds overweight.
Absolutely. All right, Hunter. Congratulations on the win. Are you joining us at the bull ring here later on tonight?
I may be joining from the broadcast booth. We'll have to see. I do not own the track.
Well, either way, we look forward to seeing more from you this season. Hopefully, we can talk to you a little bit later on.
I hope so.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that will bring us to an end for for the first race of tonight's event. We will return in about 15 minutes or so time from the bull ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Tiny, tiny little track that these boys are going to go ripping around. The only difference is it is a paved track, so they'll have a little bit more grip to play with, but that might mean the tempers get a little short. We'll have to see how it all plays out in a few moments' time. Thank you for joining. My name is Tom Quiring. This has been the Rusty Misfits Racing League, all the dirt rookie mini stocks on the dirt at I-55.